Now that we're into our first week of jQuery, let's look at the email list application as presented by our text. So this is a validation example, very similar to what we did in the last couple of weeks. So I'm going to open up the JavaScript real quick and we're going to take a good look at it. Inside our form we see an email address and a re-entry email list, and then we see a first name field. So what we do is we apply a click listener to the button. Of course, we have all this embedded in our document ready function so that it'll run. So the common best practice for you at this point is to have all your event listeners, like click, inside a document ready. Of course, join list is that button. So the logic is the same. We're just using a different method of accessing and presenting the data. So right here we've declared variables that equal our selector and the value in each text field. We've also set our toggle is valid to true. So first we can validate the first email address. And here we see object chaining. We're saying email address 1, the next element, next sibling, and the text value be equal to this field is required. That's if email address is equal to empty. Now the triple equals will test not only equality but type, and we use that to test whether something has a value or not. In the second section, it's very similar. We're still using next text. So when we validate the first name, guess what? Same thing happens. Of course, each time there's an invalid entry, we switch the value of our Boolean var is valid to false. Otherwise, we clear out the text field, that's the text that's next to each input type. So if all goes well and becomes true, we simply submit the form. And then we focus the user's cursor back in email number 1. That's a very simple method of validation that is very similar to what we did in the last week.